Hi, my name is Alyssa Knight, and I'm a policy advisor in the Mayor's Office of Climate and Sustainability. In New York City, 68% of carbon emissions come from buildings. In order to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, we need to quickly retrofit our buildings and make them more energy efficient. Under Local Law 84, buildings over 25,000 square feet have to report their energy and water consumption on a yearly basis through a process called benchmarking. This data increases transparency about a building's energy and water usage and is a necessary first step for building owners and tenants to understand in order to make the necessary improvements. As part of our Climate Mobilization Act, these buildings must also meet greenhouse gas emissions limits beginning in 2024, and the cap becomes more stringent over time. Also, if you walked around the city recently, you may have noticed letter grades in the lobby of a building's entrance. This is really designed to give New Yorkers a snapshot of a building's energy performance. While our legislation sets a high bar for decarbonization, building owners and operators do not need to do the work alone. Our New York City Accelerator program provides free technical services and connects building owners to financing, incentives, and resources to support energy efficiency projects. Further, under the Accelerator, our goal is to train over 200 building operators and help them manage these improvements to their systems so that they can continue to save on utility costs long after a project has been completed. We know that these projects can be costly. That is why in 2019, the city passed Local Law 96 to help commercial building owners finance up to 100% of their renewable energy or energy efficiency projects under the Property Assessed Clean Energy or PACE financing program. If you own, maintain, or operate a multifamily building, follow along to learn how you can retrofit your building at little to no cost.
Hi, I am Juan Gutierrez. I'm the Energy Star Coordinator for the United States Environmental Protection Agency Region 2. And today we're doing an Energy Star hunt for the multifamily building with building operators and residents. And the treasure map is an easy checklist to follow that anyone could use, or a team could walk the building looking for quick ways to save energy. You don't have to be an energy expert to find these energy savings using our treasure map. And treasure hunts focuses on quick fixes and short payback periods in finding energy saving opportunities to reduce your energy costs, energy use, and greenhouse gas emissions. And finally, treasure hunts helps you build and improve your Energy Star score and improve your New York City building energy efficiency grade.
My name is Christy Kalangsad, and I'm an energy engineer from the CUNY Building Performance Lab. We are the home of the New York City Home Sustainability Health Center, where we work one-on-one with building operators and facilities management in order to help them comply with Local Law 87 and Local Law 97. Today, I am at a multi-family residential building, and I'll be facilitating an Energy Star treasure hunt. I'm really excited to use the expertise that I have in order to help this building increase its energy score from low-cost savings. So New York City has recently mandated that all buildings put up their building energy efficiency rating, and it looks like this building has a D.
Yeah, 38 out of 100. That's a lot lower than the city average for buildings of this size.
I'm hoping that this treasure hunt will help us find low-cost savings so that they can increase their score.
Yeah, definitely.
We're here on the roof, and the first immediate thing that we can notice is that the roof is black, and we know that that's going to absorb a lot of solar energy. And so I think one of the easiest ways to save energy here is just to paint the roof a lighter color, right? We know that there's some New York City incentives to bring roofs into a cool roof state, and so they actually provide low-cost paints in order for multifamily residential buildings to get on that energy savings. So we can probably jot that down.
What can we do to find out if these buildings qualify for the incentives that you mentioned?
Yeah, definitely. We can work with the management team as well as the tenants just to see if they would be involved in that at all, or if it would just be low cost enough that it would just be covered under their rent. And it wouldn't be intrusive to tenants because the roof is not accessible, so we'll be able to have the painters come up to the elevator and it shouldn't be a problem. So we see here one of the ventilation fans on the roof.
These seem kind of antiquated. Can we update these fans to variable fans?
Yeah, I believe so. The Energy Star treasure map says that if we can install VFDs, we're able to vary the speed so that we can save some energy when the loads are lower.
And what do you think about a high efficiency motor replacement?
I think that's a great idea. This building is about 60 years old, so if the motors are on their way out, we can replace them with higher efficiency motors and definitely save some energy.
Here's a good place to start. I noticed that there's no weather stripping around the door, and as we were coming in, there was sunlight under the door, so a new door sweep would be in order, and weather stripping, and that will help to keep the warm air in and the cool air out.
So in this apartment, we see south-facing windows. Do you see any opportunities for energy savings there?
So I see an opportunity, maybe we could tint these windows to reflect some of that sunlight back, that radiant heat, and that would save a lot on when we have to use this air conditioner. So it's just tinting these windows, which is pretty simple, and many residents could do that, or the building itself could help them manage to do that tint.
Sounds good. We also see a window AC here.
Right, and in the winter, it would benefit from having a cover on it to keep the heat, minimize heat loss.
Right. And also we see that it has wireless remote control, so that's definitely a good sign that it can set point for when they need it to be on when they're here and then off when they're not here.
Right, and it looks like a newer model, so it's more likely to be fairly efficient.
Awesome. Let's write it down. So it looks like this apartment has all electric appliances, and we have the refrigerator right here.
So the treasure map calls for it to make sure to evaluate the weather refrigerator core to make sure that they're clean, so the refrigerator returns back to its original energy efficiency levels.
Right, that sounds good. I think we're all good here. Let's go.
So as you can see, this is a front-loading washer, which is typically considered to be more energy efficient than other model types.
Right. I think Energy Star says that it's 35% less energy for a washer and 20% less for a dryer. Do you know how many are in the building?
There are 4 washers and 4 dryers for each building.
Wow, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
We're in the common area now, so we're looking for opportunities to save energy with lighting. And there's lights along the corner here, along the walls of the ceiling, and then this decorative fixture here in the middle. Does that look like an LED light?
Yes, I believe so. This building had an LED retrofit in 2012, so they're definitely saving energy there. The EPA says that you save 75% of energy from switching from incandescent to LEDs.
And hopefully the building uses occupancy sensors, timers, or daylight sensors to take advantage of the natural lighting from these windows.
So now we're in the boiler room, and it looks like this building just has one boiler for both domestic hot water and perimeter heat. And looking at the energy data, the building uses more natural gas than electricity. So I'm hoping that we can find some low-cost savings from this boiler.
Right off the bat, I noticed that the set point is actually quite high. The set point here is reading at 190 degrees Fahrenheit, while most boilers can have a supply temperature of 130 or 140.
Right, and for domestic hot water, we can even go as low as 110, and that is already energy code.
That is really great news, because being able to change the set point to a lower temperature will reduce the energy consumption, especially the fuel consumption, which is affecting the Energy Star score, at no cost to the facility.
Exactly.
I also noticed that the hot water pipes here are missing insulation, and that could be a quick fix by the maintenance crew. But also a major problem here, I see a small water leak that could lead to major damage and should be addressed quickly. And now that we have completed the Energy Star treasure hunt, we have to do the follow-up implementation, which is the most important phase, to make sure these opportunities are implemented so that savings can be realized. The first thing is to prioritize opportunities that were found. Our second thing is to develop an implementation, strategy, and schedule. Our third thing is to communicate the outcomes to the building and staff residents. And lastly, to schedule additional treasure hunts. For more information and energy efficiency guidance, please visit us at www.energystar.gov/treasure hunts and have fun with your Energy Star treasure hunts to save energy and money.